Hey, hey, this is Michelle McDaniel representing the 2020 Farmers Co-op, and I've got a special guest in the studio today. And special guest, introduce yourself, please, sir.
I'm Chef Stu. You already know what it is. The hottest chef in the game. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but I'm Chef Stu, guys. Um, I'm basically one of the top chefs in the industry. I'm a TV personality. I'm one of those competition chefs you might have seen me on different shows compete in Food Network. And I'm currently a TV personality on a show called The Columbia Coast, which is the hottest travel show the world has ever seen. Your boy Chef Stu is on there, experiencing the Pacific Northwest. And then I'm finding local ingredients, I'm twisting them, and I'm cooking something at the end of the show. So I think it'd be a good show for you guys to tune into, learn some different things to do with your extra time, and get into some different habits. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome, awesome. And so the link to that show, that's on your website, or how do people find the new show?
The new show is currently airing on FYI streaming platform. So depending on, how it gets tricky with all these different apps these days, and this app shows
Exactly.
this and shows that. So if you might have Hulu Live subscription, you should be able to watch it. If you got Direct TV, you should be able to watch it. But in a sense, you can definitely come to the website, the Columbia Coast com, and then click on that and it should show you where that you can set it. But FYI, definitely if you want to download the FYI app. The show had already aired on FYI previously. It will be, like the licensing agreements go, and so at some point the show will be available to see on other platforms. And I think we right at that cusp where it's about to be everywhere. So I'm not encouraging anybody not to go get the FYI app, but you could chill for a second and find it or something else. But the key thing is just pull in the Columbia Coast and watch the show, and tell me what you guys think.
Awesome, awesome. And like I say, I'm a Food Network junkie and I am a cooking show junkie. So I have been following you for a minute. And so
Okay.
wanted to reach out to you because we've got a thing going on with the 2020 Farmers Co-op, since the
Okay.
FDA just recently they just like canceled funding for low for farmers that needed that funding to buy their land and to keep their land. And so we've got a fundraiser going on because we want to support those disadvantaged farmers. And so we want to reach out to chefs that might have some kind of uh, experience with the farm to table movement. So how important is that? How important is it for chefs to support local and small scale farmers?
I mean, it's actually the blueprint to what I do. A lot of times people I cook and they be like, oh man, this was so good, right? Like, and I mean it was nothing salt, pepper, olive oil done. But the reason that it was good is because it was some fresh zucchini from a local farmer, fresh fish from a local, you know what I'm saying? So in hindsight, I think it plays a really big part in the culture of the food to have the best product possible to give to your clients, to your family, your guests, your friends. However, the commercial side kind of comes into it sometimes, and it's hard for those farms to be able to keep up with the demand that's needed. And then we kind of all forced to use the same vendors inside in the restaurant industry. And so it's one of those things where each chef kind of like circles out, and it plays a big part depending on where you live at, right? If you living in a state that really don't grow a lot of things, then it's really hard to kind of keep that all the way. And so ideally, that concept works really well in like California, where the weather is nicer, way more farmland. You got different people growing different things. And so you can say true farm to table concept when you in a place like that, as opposed to being in underprivileged community where they're really now we just doing the local farm thing, and we can grow some herbs. We don't have the room to grow all these different crops. Then it kind of moves into the animals as well. I work with a lot of farms, again, insert with the show. That's kind of what we were highlighting too, because all these products were natural products, local ingredients, people that was growing it themselves. And so I definitely want to stand with the farmers and see whatever it is that I can do to try to help, because collectively your farm should be growing X, Y, Z. That way I'll grow A, B, and C. Then y'all can focus on E, F, G, and then we rotate that out simultaneously. We making sure each other's families is eating, but we also making sure that we not all growing the same crop because it defeats the purpose at that point. You know what I'm saying? So
I got you.
it's big. It's
I
big
got
for
you.
me. It's big for me.
Yeah. And we appreciate you sharing that because a lot of people don't really understand that. They just go to a restaurant, they think, oh, okay, it is what it is. But I mean, I'm in the South, so we're limited to what we have here. And then so when we're talking farm to table, you're talking fish, you're talking seafood, you're talking everything, right? Not
Right.
just what's
Right.
grown in the ground, but we're talking about
Right.
what these fishermen are actually pulling out
Yeah.
of the sea and looking to
Right.
make income off of that. So no, that
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. And we just can't have commercial take over everything because again, that just drowns out the small scale farmer. So
Yeah.
like I said, I didn't want to hold you long. I wanted you to you just come on
Nah,
because
we
you're the
good.
man.
We all
You
good.
the
We
man.
all good. We
You
all
you the
good. We
man.
all good.
And so you got your seasonings and stuff going on. And so you say that they're all healthy and good for the
Yes.
body. What's in those seasonings, man?
If I tell you the ingredients, then you wouldn't have to buy a
Did
bottle. But what,
right.
but what I could assure you is essentially, and I got one right here just for the people that's watching. We're referring
Okay.
to one of the signature blends that we have at Stew Sticks. And so essentially, it has no salt in the blend. This was a
Okay.
way to create flavor and then attack a few health ailments that definitely messes with our communities with high blood pressure, diabetes, and all of those things. And so we've under the misconception that there's really only really kind of like two flavors, either salt or sweet, right? Like it's either something salty or something sweet. And then from that, you tell me what your favorite food is, and I'll be able to identify which one of those two you reflect better. And so we got this whole thing where if it ain't seasoned correctly, we not eating it, not knowing that we are just basically just adding a higher level of salt content to the flavor. So back to the example of when I was cooking for certain people, they're like, "Oh man, this was so great." I wasn't using salt. It was just the natural taste of the food. You put so much flavor on stuff sometimes, and essentially you mask the flavor of what the true product was supposed to taste like. And now, yeah, it tastes good to you, but you really didn't get the taste of zucchini or the squash or the pork or the chicken or whatever it is that you actually making because you just did with 25 different things. The second thing I will
Yeah.
point out is that when people are using multiple seasonings, salt is a flavor enhancer and is used to preserve things. And so if you're using, say, garlic powder, and then you put in some onion powder, and then you put in some paprika, and then you put in some cumin, and then you putting in some other things, right? Like all those individual bottles, salt was added into that to make the bottle last even longer. And so before long, yeah, you think that it tastes great. That's just your body saying, thanks for giving me all that salt again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So I just wanted to create something that didn't have no salt whatsoever, and still was a flavor enhancer, flavor profile. You can do other tricks like using citrus, lemon, lime to kind of offset to give that acidity to it. Fresh garlic also has like that kind of a salty taste again, but these are all natural things. So I suggest getting a bottle of this, some lemon, some lime, some fresh garlic, and go for what you know and see what it works for you. I just did a video the other day and I was talking about how it can also be used as a flavor enhancer. So say you have chili that you made and it just didn't hit when you finished. Couple sprinkles of this, your chili is back on fire again, right? I use this on breakfast potatoes. You can use this on tuna fish. You can use it on pasta salad. You can throw it on popcorn, like right. I mean, you could just go wherever you want to go with it. I put it on shrimp. I put it on pork. We got a pulled pork special that we do. We use this seasoning. We just talked about that when me and you talked prior off camera, but I actually have another one as well, which is a vegan cheese blend. And so this is for all my vegans out there. I didn't forget about y'all. I know that most cheese substitutes in menus normally is nuts, cashews, and then that's the substitution for cheese sauce. But then what happens when you got a nut allergy? You're done, right? So how about
mm,
we come up with a blend that doesn't have no nuts? So each item that I present to the world essentially will be something that lacks one of the main ingredients that everybody else kind of affiliates with the product. And so this gives you another option. So I look at this as an alternative method to flavor and kind of do the health thing.
And that's awesome, man, because I'm telling you, being from the South, everything's about lorries and, accent and all that. And the thing is, like you said, when you taste something, you want to add more and more to it. And you're kind of missing out on what the actual flavor should be. So, I mean, again, I appreciate you joining us, and we want to support you. Definitely going to shoot this out to all of the members and our viewers. And definitely, if you can share this video on your platform, we want to support these farmers that are, really caught up in this situation, because when they pulled that funding, it was kind of a overnight type thing. They all got letters
Yeah,
saying, "Hey, guess what? Your
yeah.
funding just got pulled." And so we want to support them, but we also want to support the ones that want to support them. So any, farm to table chefs and anyone that support that movement, we're all about, sending that out. So when I send this out to our platform, I'm definitely going to include the links to your website and links for people to be able to purchase your seasoning. I have already
Please
placed
do.
my order and
Yes, you did.
totally waiting to receive it, because I saw you cooking up some lamb chops with some
Yeah,
green sauce that you put. Man,
yeah,
ooh, I
yeah,
love the lamb chop sticks. I
yeah.
mean, those are awesome, but
That's
I
one
just
of
don't
our
know how to
hottest
season
sellers.
them. Really? I don't know how to
I can
season
actually, to
them.
be honest with you, I got a whole nother season that we do for the lamb. That's called my
For real.
Moroccan blend. Yeah. But
Uh
we didn't even bring that to the forefront yet. Is we've been rolling with these two, but the Moroccan is
yeah,
definitely up next.
roll roll that
You'll see
out.
that soon.
Roll that out, because the lambs are gamey. They got
Hmm.
that gamey flavor, and so
Yeah.
that's the only thing that kind of turns me a little bit off. So it's like I've got to have the right seasoning. And I remember when I worked for a catering company, I don't know what kind of seasoning they were using, but that, I mean, it was on point. So I'm pretty sure whatever you got coming is going to be on point too. So
No,
I
listen.
appreciate.
I'm gonna say this. To be honest, with you, I'm sorry to cut you off. I was gonna say
No, it's
that
all good.
the design of the seasoning was what you just actually said. A lot of people don't like that gamey taste with the lamb, right? And so here
Right.
we go trying to figure out a way to educate us and put us onto different proteins so we stop eating just chicken and chicken only, right? And so
Exactly.
I created the blend to have a way to still let you taste the lamb, but then play with your palate a little bit so it doesn't seem like gamey and it starts to you get familiar, right? Because I got a lot of people like, man, I don't like lamb. I never really like lamb. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Right.
Try this. And they like, this was kind of all right. I said, guess what that was? They were like, well, I said that was lamb. Like, nah, for real, yeah. So it's like one of those things where you eat it one time, it put that crazy taste in your mouth and you don't never want it again. Give the Moroccan blend a try, and I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to overcome that. I know we're about to get out of here, and I do want to say one thing that I have a foundation called the Transition Kitchen Foundation. It was started years ago. The idea was to start with culinary arts training with job placement. It could be used as an alternative sentencing program, job placement to help certain individuals get jobs. If it's possible that some of the farmers that we're trying to connect with needs to find a way to kind of generate the revenue to be able to save the farm, I am willing to figure out a way to bring the Transition Kitchen Foundation to your farm to set up what could be an agricultural program where we could teach how to grow the crops, get you some extra hands to be able to help. And then we can use that in a couple of different ways in a sense that give us a chance to kind of like work together the best way that we can. So if you are a farmer and you running out of ideas of how to save the farm, I'll have an email address for you guys to get in touch with me because we're looking for farms now to kind of come and be able to put these programs at. And so this might be just a blessing in disguise for myself as well as a farm owner, and then more importantly for the community, so we can kind of get back to some of the things that actually sustained us throughout time and be able to be self-sustaining, especially on your land. Because right now, land is really the wealth.
All day, every day, brother. All day, every day. And I really appreciate you getting that out there. And so I'll collect your information and put that out there to the members of the 2020 Farmers Co-op to let them know, what opportunities are available. So, like I say, a co-op is about being working in a cooperative and working together and being
Yes.
sustainable and not having to depend on government funds, because we know that that's not always reliable. So let's do this.
Yeah,
Let's do
don't
this.
we know?
I'm ready to
Don't
roll,
I
bro.
know? Don't I know? Don't I know?
Man,
Don't I
okay.
know?
I really appreciate you joining me today. And like I said, I'm going to shoot this out on social media, and I'll shoot the video to you. Please post it wherever you can, and we're going to work together. We're going to get this done.
Man, no, definitely, definitely. And make sure y'all get your bottle of stew stick seasoning. My motto is I
Please
put
do.
this on everything. You
Please
can
do, because
too.
I'm telling you,
You
this dude sound like he a mad scientist in the
I
lab.
am. That's what you're supposed to be. You got to be. You got to be. You got to be.
Yeah,
Especially
you
if you
got to
want to have
be
your own
innovative,
unique product. You know what I'm saying? This is at the 20
right?
years of being in the laboratory saying, hey, okay, I got something that's going to work. Here you go, y'all. It's
Definitely,
called Stew Stick Signature Seasoning. Click, get your bottle today. And the foundation that I spoke on, every time you purchase a bottle, you help strengthen the initiative for the foundation. And we got some market affiliate programs. You can play with it on there. We're looking for people who have stores in different places across. Maybe you can get with us with the market affiliate program, and you become an authorized vendor of the stew stick seasoning in your neighborhood to make it more easier for people to get. So I'm coming to try to do what I can do, best way I can do it, but I can't do it alone. And I'm asking for you guys' support.
all good. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you for having me. Till next
All right,
time.
now, all right, you have a good one.
You too, babe. Thank you.